You know how some phrases just sound important, like they're pulled from an ancient text or a chess master's secret notes? Well, that's exactly the vibe we get from Sophia's Gambit, and today we're going to unpack exactly what it means.
So what is a Sophia's Gambit? Is it some secret chess move? A philosophical argument? The answer is kind of both. It's not just one single strategy. It's this incredible concept that mashes together two powerful and, really different ideas from history. And to really get it, to really wrap our heads around it, we've got to take it apart. We're going to look at each word on its own. It's like a puzzle, right? Once we see how the pieces fit, you'll understand how they come together to form this total masterstroke. All right, part one. Let's start with Sophia. What's the story behind this word? What kind of wisdom are we really talking about here? Okay, so let's get into the etymology. The roots of this word go way, way back. Sophia is literally the ancient Greek word for wisdom. Simple enough, right? But, and this is a big but, it's not just any old wisdom. See, historically, Sophia wasn't just about being book smart. It was about practical wisdom, having really sound judgment. And in some traditions, like Gnosticism, it got even deeper. Sophia was actually personified as a divine being, representing this higher, almost holy kind of knowledge. So when you hear the word Sophia used in a phrase like this, it's a symbol. It's signaling something much deeper than just being clever. It's talking about a profound, ancient, almost divine level of understanding. This is wisdom with some serious weight behind it. So, to sum it up, Sophia means deep, deliberate, intelligent insight. That's the first piece of our puzzle. Got it? Good. Now for the other half. Okay, part two. Let's deconstruct Gambit. Now this word has a totally different feel, right? It sounds sharp, strategic, maybe even a little dangerous. It's all about the strategy of sacrifice. And get this, the origin is just awesome. Gambit comes from the Italian word gambetto, which literally means a tripping up. It comes from gamba, which is Italian for leg. So the original idea is literally tripping someone to gain an advantage. How cool is that? It's all about throwing your opponent off their game. So this idea of a strategic trip-up jumped from a physical action into the world of high strategy back in the 16th century. It was a Spanish chess master, Ruy López, who first started using the term for a specific kind of opening move. So what is a gambit in chess? Well, it's pretty bold. It's when you make an opening move where you intentionally sacrifice a piece, like a pawn. To your opponent, it looks like you just made a mistake, like a loss. But what you're really doing is setting them up to gain a much bigger, more strategic advantage later in the game. So symbolically, a gambit is way more than just a move. It's any plan where the real goal is hidden. It looks like a loss, a step back, but in reality, it's a critical, calculated step towards winning the whole thing. Yeah, a gambit is a really complex idea when you break it down. It's a mix of all these things. Pure strategy, a big calculated risk, a little bit of deception, sacrifice, and a ton of foresight. It's the whole shebang of intellectual combat. Okay, so now it's time for the synthesis. We have our two key ingredients, the deep wisdom of Sophia and the risky strategic sacrifice of the Gambit. Let's fuse them together and see what kind of masterstroke we create. And this is where it all comes together. Just look at this. On the Sophia side, you've got profound wisdom, ancient insight, even divine knowledge. And on the Gambit side, calculated risk, strategic sacrifice, and cunning maneuvers. You put those together, and that's where the magic really happens. When you fuse these two, you don't just get a clever plan. You get something much bigger. You get a strategy of wisdom. It's a plan that isn't just about being smart. It's about being deeply, profoundly insightful. I mean, think about the journey these words took. You have one idea from ancient Greece, another that got its big break in 16th century chess, and now in the modern day, they've fused to create this term for a masterful, profoundly insightful strategy. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. All right, so let's get to the takeaway. What does this all mean in the real world? We've gone beyond a clever trick. So what does it look like in practice? Okay, here's the final definition. A Sophia's Gambit is a masterful strategy where what looks like a loss is anything but. It's a planned, deliberate sacrifice that's actually a core part of a much bigger, much more intelligent design, all aimed at locking in a huge advantage down the road.
And here's how it usually plays out. Step 1. Someone makes a move that looks, well, bad, a real disadvantage. Step 2. Their opponents see it and think, aha, a weakness. But then, step 3, the real plan comes to light. Everyone suddenly sees that mistake was actually part of a brilliant overarching strategy. And finally, step 4, that move leads to a greater ultimate victory. Checkmate.
There's a quote that just nails this idea perfectly. The phrase elevates a simple, clever trick into a masterful, wise strategy. And that's it, right there. It's not just a clever trick. It's bigger than that. It's about playing a completely different game, on a whole other level of thinking.
And that's really the crucial point here. Being clever is one thing. A clever trick might win you a small battle. But the kind of profound insight we're talking about with the Sophia's Gambit, that's what wins you the entire war. It's the ultimate difference between just being cunning and having true, deep wisdom.
So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Where in your world do you see a Sophia's Gambit in play? Think about it. In business, in politics, maybe even in your own personal life. Where have you seen something that looked like a failure but was actually a masterful, wise plan all along? It's funny. Once you have a name for it, you might just start seeing it everywhere. Thanks for tuning in.